Hey, Mike here. We are the first few days into the brand new year of 2024, and you know what that means. We are going to do a cleansing of our entire Obsidian setup. I'm not doing this on some sort of tutorial or dummy vault. I'm doing this on the vault that I use every single day, that I aptly named Base Vault. Yeah, I know, I'm so creative. My ultimate goal here is to be absolutely ruthless, especially when it comes to community plugins. I am someone who loves trying out the latest and greatest plugins, but most of the time they just end up being clutter that I don't delete because I procrastinate on something else. Okay, here we go. General section. Let's see here. Now, truly, there's just nothing here to update. I mean, I suppose the only thing that I would do is check for updates, and it does seem that I am on the latest version, so that's good. And here is our first example of why I am doing this in the first place, because I never knew that this was actually a setting. You're telling me that I'm able to start off from a new tab in source mode and I don't have to always hit my Command S whenever I want to edit a file? I find myself in source mode most of the time, and this setting saves me, I suppose, those milliseconds it takes to get into source mode. But hey, time adds up, right? Now remember, our main goal here is to declutter, so I don't really benefit from knowing what is my mode, my editing mode in the status bar. That's why I'm going to turn this off. I think it's pretty obvious what mode I'm in. Now, I don't know what the visual difference would look like regarding this readable line length, so let's take a look. Right now it's on, and this is what a typical page looks like right now. Let's see what happens if we turn it off. Okay, so it's wider. There's more space. That's nice. I gotta be honest, it is messing with me a little bit. I'm not sure if I prefer the default version, the version I had before this, or if I'm just so used to it that this just feels off for me. I'm gonna leave this on for at least a couple of days, see how it feels over time, and then if I just don't like it, I can just click that button and revert back. The rest of these, though, they look just fine to me. All right, that's it for the editor section. Next up, files and links. Again, everything here looks just fine. Now keep in mind, I'm only really going over the things that I am changing. I am showing you, of course, what are my options in the first place, but if I were to go over every single setting that I am keeping, this video would be way too long. Next up, appearance. Now, I'll be honest and upfront with you. I am a bit of a normie when it comes to themes. I really enjoy the mainstream Catpuccine themes, whatever you want to call them. The only problem is, with this specific theme, the Catpuccine theme, I can't keep it like this because let me show you actually, if I try to find a file, you see how that looks? That is terrible. Hopefully they fix the way that this looks because I'd love to use this theme. This looks, in my opinion, so much nicer. But yeah, unfortunately, I have to use this one instead. Maybe I will make a video just about themes. Maybe we'll make a custom theme. That'd be interesting. Like a system sculpt theme. That would be so sick. That's a great idea, actually. As for everything else in here, I love the Iosefka term. I've been using the Iosefka term nerd font for, 10 years plus. Big fan of it. Everything else here in appearance looks just fine. Moving on to hotkeys. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about my hotkeys simply because A, this is different depending on every single individual, and B, I've been staring at this for about 5 minutes now and I just can't find any changes I'd like to make in the first place. I'd like to think that the way that I organize my hotkeys is pretty straightforward and logical, at least in my brain. Therefore, I use the same hotkeys across all of my applications. Like for example, when it comes to switching tabs, I think the hotkeys for tab switching are right here. I have these same hotkeys on my Chrome web browser, in VS Code, in NeoVim, I mean, literally everywhere. I mean, any application that has any form of a tab system, and if I can, of course, set the hotkeys for that in the first place, I have that there. And yeah, this is just an example that you can use to imagine all of my other hotkeys. I just use the same thing because it just makes sense. So yeah, again, that's all there is to the hotkeys section. Moving on to core plugins. When it comes to the core plugins, it looks like we are going to go through a lot of changes here because right off the bat, I can tell you that I do not use the audio recorder, nor the backlinks, nor the bookmarks, nor the canvas. I do use the command palette though. Now, I do want to remind you, of course, that this is all based on myself using Obsidian for a long time now, and I'd like to think that I've built a mental model of how I utilize Obsidian to the best of its capabilities for my cases. You must remember that just because I'm turning certain features on or off, that doesn't mean that that's going to be the best thing for you. My opinion is this: keep everything default at first, learn Obsidian, especially if you're just starting out. Once you have a good foundation of utilizing a little bit of everything that Obsidian has to offer, then you can really dive deep into the settings like I am right now, go through each and every single option, and then decide from there whether you like those changes or not. Now look, this is going to be very controversial, but I just do not use Graph View. It's a cool feature. I love the way that it looks. It makes for great video introductions or to show off how many notes you have, but at the end of the day, I can't think of one time, once again, that Graph View has proven useful for me. I've never used Note Composer, so that's going out of here. Oh look, another feature that I never use. You are gone as well. I've never found myself using page preview because I just go through files way too quickly with my, what's it called again? The Omni search, right? That's what it's called. And when it comes to quick switcher, I'm not really sure what this is. And that usually means if I don't know what this is, I do not use it. So we are going to turn this bad boy off as well. Where are you? There you are. Quick switcher. You are out of here. And when it comes to search, I do use Omni search. I'm not really sure which one this is. Oh, it's the little magnifying glass in the corner there. Yeah, I never utilize that ever. Again, these are going to be very controversial takes, but I just don't use sync and I don't use tags. I'm sorry. Again, this is very, very, what's the word? Subjective. I've just, again, never found myself looking through or trying to find a note on my phone. Maybe it's because I am glued to my laptop and I look at my phone maybe 10 times a day. And then same thing goes for the tag view. I just never utilize it. Tags are cool and all, but I just don't use them in the first place, let alone look through the tags I've already made. Okay, I'm in a little bit of a shock. I've never seen this setting here before. I must have overlooked it, but unique note creator. Let's take a look at what this does. It says it creates a note with a unique timestamp prefix for workflows like Zettelkasten or Slipbox. So let's turn this on and let's take a look at the settings here. So the new file location, let's make sure that this is within our Zettelkasten. The template file location, so this is the template of the note. So we have the new note template right here. And then the typical prefix, I think I like this. It has the year, the month, the day, the hour, and the minutes. Honestly, this is my favorite way of numbering files because, come on, what are the odds that you make two notes within the span of the same minute? So yeah, I'm going to try this out. Let's see. Let's create a new note here. Oh, it still names it untitled. I wonder how I turn that on then. Let's see. New note. Here's the option. Unique note creator. Create new unique note. And boom. It creates the new note. So that means all we have to do is go into settings, go into hotkeys, create new note. Oh, actually it's not that either. Unique. There we go. And now let's add this hotkey. We're going to override the current command and hotkey. Let's click this so we can see the conflicts here. And I will remove this one so that we have this. And now it should work flawlessly. So Command N, boom, we have the new note and I can start typing away right away. All right, that does it for all of these options here, all the way down to core plugins. Now, this video is already edging on 10 minutes, so I'm going to do the community plugins tomorrow. We're going to go through every single one of these and hopefully delete a lot of them. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.